I'm Alexandro Palade, I'm with Ricordo, and we're here at Reboot Develop with our game Secondhand Frankie's Revenge.
So what is this game all about? Because you have a lot of these robots killing other garage-made robots.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of a game where you build these strange robots out of very strange parts like boilers, fridges, and tennis ball launchers. And the whole point is to basically beat the crap out of the other robots that have been alien infested. It's a 1 to 4 player co-op game, online and local, where you can have fun with friends, mess around, try all sorts of different builds, and see if you can find new and innovative ways of destroying the opposition, essentially.
So can you talk about some of the customization and weapons you have in the game?
Yeah, sure. So, Rado over there is using a super glue gun right now. The super glue gun is one of the cool ones because it slows down enemy robots. You can sort of glue them and slow them. But if you're in a team, it also heals your friends. We've got things like a diving helmet that has a harpoon where you can sort of pull enemies close. So, I could talk about a bunch of them, but the point is that we wanted to make sure that every part is unique. So it's not just, different skins, does the same thing. It's just a melee weapon with a different look. It's basically every part is unique and enables different gameplay styles.
Where did the idea for this game come from?
It was actually a Ludum there. That's just, for those of you who are not familiar, that's like it's one of the biggest game jams that you can do from home. And the theme was Shapeshift. So it was sort of like, what can we do with Shapeshift? And there were a bunch of us, I think 5 at the Ludum there, that we messed around with ideas. And this thought of, how about if you put a robot together out of really household parts and something that would not normally go onto a robot, and then use that to progress. So, and just took it from there. It kind of grew a life of its own, as I think most games do.
We've seen a lot of games become massively successful, and they've started out have become massively successful. They've started out as game jams. So what do you feel game jams open up for developers like you personally?
It was a great opportunity, first of all, to find other people to work with who are kind of as passionate as I was about it. And I think creatively, game jams are great because they sort of give you that, it's hard to be creative without constraints. And when you have any kind of constraint, it just helps get that spark. And it really doesn't matter, because starting from an idea as, it might seem specific, Shapeshift, but it could really have turned into anything.
Do you have a favorite build in the game, a type of robot with weapon layout?
I do actually. I prefer the washing machine body because that gives you more energy and you've got less health but more energy. The diving helmet is cool because you can kind of kite, you can run around enemies and grab them close. It kind of acts like a scorpion whip thing. And the cutlass and the baseball bat, because the baseball bat can kind of stun enemies when you draw them in. So that's my favorite build.
Now, how many different combinations, can you give me a number, how many different combinations of robots you can build in this game? You should know this, you're a developer, right?
Yeah, unless I do some combinatorics, I don't really know the exact number. So right now we've got maybe 15 parts. As I said, they're all unique. So you can do quite a bit of combinations. We're planning to have twice that by the time of release, but we really wanted to make sure that you can experiment and mess around with all sorts of builds. So unlike similar games, because this is sort of a well-established niche of games, 1 to 4 player co-op games, titles like Helldivers, Alienation, Magica. But we really wanted to make sure you don't have to pick a class. So even though different parts enable different play styles, if you want to choose a healer tank combo, you can do that. So I don't know. I think there are a lot of combinations, but I don't know the number.
So Alex, talk about what it was like working in Unity and what have they provided in terms of tech and support to help make this game a reality?
Unity has been really great for us because it's very accessible. I think the community is the biggest thing. There are really a lot of people using it, so when you've got any kind of problem, you can find answers pretty quickly. And there are a ton of useful assets. That's by far the biggest advantage for us in using Unity. In terms of support from them, we haven't really had to ask. We've met Unity folks at various conferences like Reboot, and they've always been nice, so I think they would be supportive if we had to ask for specific things, but honestly, so far we haven't had any need to.
When does your game come out and what platforms will it be on?
We're hoping to come out on Steam later this year. I would say autumn, but I don't want to be well, you're going to quote me on this, but anyway, sometime this year. So 2018 on Steam, and consoles hopefully as soon as possible, because the game has online as well as local co-op, but I think it would shine on consoles really. So we're hoping to get on the Switch and PS4 and Xbox as soon as possible.